Hey guys, Jake here, and today I've got a new thing on the channel. Uh, Here I'll be talking about my run in the Brawl For All tournament, which is a tournament ran by my good pal Johnny GB. He hosts these every once in a while, and it's kind of like March Madness. We draft 8 mons, open draft, and we're put into pools, and then eventually the people who move on go to brackets. So yeah, pretty cool that Johnny would host this. So yeah, and I was participating in this, so I just thought I'd show how I did here. So this was the pool I got split in up to. I was in a pool with TTM Razorwolf, Derpinator 3001, and El Danny Boy 5110. Now I know all these players. I kind of have some sort of knowledge on how good they are. I know all of them. First of all, I'm just gonna say that old Danny Boy was inactive for the whole thing in the tournament, so I never actually played him, but I did play these two guys, and they were both definitely tricky matchups. So I will be talking about my games versus them. But yeah, I was definitely looking forward to playing both of these people. Razor is an NPL majors, so I definitely know he's a good player. And Terminator, I think he's solid from what I've seen before too. So yeah, this is my draft right here. I've got Megaladios, Thunderous, Therian, Sylveon, Nidoqueen, Bisharp, Slowbro, Greninja, and Breloom. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of my draft, pretty much because I'm not like mons like Bisharp and Breloom. I don't really like. I usually like bulkier mons for my steel types and for my grass types, so it'll definitely be a challenge. This team is a lot more offensive than what I'm used to using. Like I do have bulky pivots like Sylveon, Slowbro, and Nidoqueen, but it'll be a challenge to use this team. I'm definitely trying to like step out of my comfort zone with this tournament. But yeah, first I'll talk about my game versus Derpinator. So here's the team I brought. So he's got a Megaladios of his own, so which is extremely threatening. I don't have a searching. If it's like Calm Mind or Psyshock, Sylveon really isn't an answer. It's just super threatening for my team to deal with. He's also got the Infernape, and the right Infernape set can really blow my team back because it is his Emon. Like he could be either Bloom Doom or like Evil Havoc for my Slowbro. He's also got that Tyranitar. I really don't have to switch into an offensive Tyranitar on my roster. Like Breloom resists those stats, but it still takes time from like a crunch. He's also got the Tangrowth, which is pretty annoying because it can really deal with stuff like my Greninja as well as my Bisharp. So it was pretty challenging, and he's also got the Heliolisk. I do have pretty good defensive checks to Heliolisk, and I do have the Breloom, so I'm not really too scared of it. And he's also got the Alolan Ninetales. Ninetales is pretty scary, especially if he's Nasty Plot, which would allow him to like break through stuff like Slowbro and Sylveon. So yeah, let me go over the team I brought. The first mon I brought on the team was Life Orb Spikes Greninja. This mon is overall really solid versus him. He doesn't have the best removal other than like Latios. So if I'm able to set of spikes, it's really annoying for stuff like his Tangrowth and some stuff he didn't bring. I forgot what he didn't bring, even though it was just on my screen a second ago. Wouldn't he not bring again? Oh yeah, he didn't bring the Toxapex and the Gliscor. So yeah, the spikes were also there for Toxapex because I could like set them up whenever I thought he was going Pex. So yeah, sorry, this game was played a while ago, so I don't really remember everything. Next mon I've got is a physically mixed defensive Keyberry Slowbro. Keyberry raise my defense whenever I'm hit by a physical move, so I can like switch into Infernape's Close Combat, get +1 defense, and then I can start setting up Calm Minds. The Keyberry is so like it's harder for him to revenge me with like T-Tar's Crunch. Like only banded T-Tar can 2-hit KO me if I'm at +1 defense. And I've also got Calm Mind, so I can like beat stuff like Tangrowth and Heliolisk. Next one I've got is Shukaberry Sword Stance Bisharp. This one is just really solid versus him, and if I weaken Infernape, there's a very good chance I can clean late game. Priority is nice for Heliolisk. I can set up on Tangrowth because I'm Shuka. I can Oko Tyranitar, and yeah. Next one I've got is Specs Sylveon. He doesn't really have great switch-ins to it. Like he didn't drop the Steel type, so he's got Toxapex. But I'm really not scared of Toxapex this game because I do have stuff like Latios, Slowbro that's up on it. Greninja can set up spikes versus it. And even if I do, I can either try and predict it and go for a Psy Shock, or I could go for either Baton Pass or Yawn. Yawn was a nice move I threw on there in case I felt like he was going to switch into Toxapex, and then I could force a switch and then double accordingly. So yeah, I've also got a Calm Mind Latios. Calm Mind Latios is actually, I'm not Calm Mind. I'm actually just 3 attacks, offensive, with some HP investment, Psychic, Draco Meteor, Roost, and Grass Knot. Grass Knot, so I could 2 KO Tyranitar, and I felt like of all the berries he could be, I felt like Rindo Berry was the least likely, so I decided to go with Grass Knot. Yeah, this one's really solid. It outspeeds the Ninetales. I'm maxed to mid-second speed type with still Latios. It's really nice for Infernape. Also can break Tangrowth if he's not Soul Fist, and it can deal with Helios pretty well too. So yeah, this sounds really solid. Next mon I've got is SD by 4 Breloom, max speed. I forget exactly why, but I've got Bullet Seed, Mach Punch, and Superpower as well as SD. Superpower so I can one-shot Tangrowth after rocks, but I need to scout a spread first. But yeah, this thing's priority is just super great late game. Like if I weaken Tangrowth and remove Lottie, like I just click Mach Punch and do a ton of work. Like Infernape, Ninetales, Helios, Tyranitar all take a ton from it. So yeah, let me get right into the game. I just had to lead off with my Sylveon because he really doesn't have a great switch into it. Like he didn't bring the Toxapex, everything's getting 2 KO'd. So yeah, he leads off with his Helios, which is perfect because this thing can't do much to me. And I can just fire a few shit. He does get O-Code. He doesn't have a switch in. So yeah, I'm just going for the Hyper Voice turn 1. I eat that up. That damage actually reveals that he's not a boosting item Helios, which is definitely something I gotta keep in mind. But he actually goes hard Tyranitar, which confused me. But I go for the Hyper Voice. He lives on 6, so which is a bit annoying. It's kind of hard for me to calc what this thing's spread was from that damage. But here I figured there's no way he's going for a fighting move, and I'll probably outspeed this thing with my Bisharp. I feel like he's probably going to go for rocks, but I still don't want this thing, my Sylveon, taking a Stone Edge, because it's nice to take this from Tangrowth, Helios, Ninetales, and do a ton back. So I'm going to go into my Bisharp on this turn, as he actually goes for the Iron Head, which is perfect. Now here I'm just going to click Knock Off. He could go into Infernape, but that's fine. I get to remove that thing's item or see if he's Z-move. So, yeah, I go for Knock, and I see he's actually Focus Sash, which was interesting. But, yeah, here we go down to Infernape. I do have a Key Berry, so we're going to switch into this. Yeah, he's actually go for the U-turn, and I do eat my Key Berry, but, he goes on to his Helios, so yeah, definitely in hindsight, this was definitely not the best bring for me because of the Helios. I was hoping I'd have Calm Minds up before he went to Helios, but yeah, this was definitely not the best bring on my part because Helios kind of shuts me down. But yeah, I can't stay in. I want to keep this thing around, so I go on to my Latios as he goes for the full switchers, which is perfectly fine. Now here he goes on to his own Latios. Now we do Speed Fight, and I could just knock him out with Draco Meteor. But Latios is so good versus this team, I really don't want to risk it. So I just had to go hard into my Sylveon, expecting a Dragon move. As he actually goes for the Dragon Dance, which I heavily disagree with, because either way, if I chose to stay in, I just killed your Latios, and like, even if you outsped and even if you outsped and calm-minded, I actually don't know if he would have lived, but if he did, like, it would have been really low. In range of stuff like Bisharp, Breloom, Greninja. I don't think that was a very good play. Yeah, but it's fine because his attacks actually rule to kill me, to kill my Sylveon. But so my play is just to click Hyper Voice, as he actually missed the Zen Headbutt, which was super unfortunate. But yeah, it really sucked, but because I do have a really healthy Sylveon, which can deal with Helios and stuff. But it was a roll for me to kill, and I still had like Slowbro, which could beat it. I still had like Greninja, which could take a hit. Still had Bisharp, which was Shuka Berry, so I would have lived an Earthquake. It was not going to sweep me. So yeah, now it goes down to Infernape. I don't want to take like Flare Blitz or a Gunk Shot from this thing, so I'm actually just gonna go into my Slowbro. As he actually reveals the Z up Gunk Shot, Acid Downpour, which is really weird. I didn't really expect Acid Downpour with all of Z moves, because this thing can't really break my Slowbro now. So yeah, here I'm just gonna stay with my Slowbro. If he goes for the U-turn, it's fine. I live that, and I can just slack off. This Slowbro is nice to keep around for the Ninetales, as well as if it doesn't have Freeze Dry, as well as the Infernape. Now that I know he's not like Z, that he's not Bloom Doom. So yeah, here goes on Helios. I can live anyone hit from this, and I can just slack off, because I figured he might Volt Switch, and I just didn't want to lose momentum, so I felt like I could just slack off. But as he goes into Tangrowth, he does outspeed me and put me to sleep with the Sleep Powder. But that's fine. Here I go hard out into my Latios versus the Tangrowth, because he can't really do much to me, and I can threaten him out. But he actually pulls a nice double into his Ninetales. This is a bit scary, because I can't Oko this thing, and this thing could be Nasty Pot. But yeah. What I'm gonna do here is I'm actually just gonna sack off my Slowbro, because it's not doing that much. Like it does beat Infernape, but I still have other things for that. So like my Greninja, my Breloom can hit it hard with Mach Punch. I've also got my Latios, which pretty much hard walls it. As he actually does Nasty Plot, and he goes for the Freeze Dry. This is fine. My Sylveon, because he's not Life Orb, my Sylveon can take +2 Blizzard and either kill it or bring it really low with Hyper Voice, which means he's in range of my Greninja, my Breloom, my Latios. So I don't really need my Sylveon that much anymore. Its biggest job was to wall break, but it's pretty much done that already. It killed Tyranitar, killed the Latios. So yeah, here it just goes for Blizzard, as I take that, and now he just lives on 1, which sucks. And next turn he kills me with Moonblast. Now here I'm going to talk about Zen Headbutt miss. After the game, he was saying the Zen Headbutt miss really sucked because he felt like he could have swept me with Ninetales. This Ninetales was never sweeping me, because I could have either sacked I could have sacked one of these 4 mons just to get damage to leave it into one of these other 3 mons, if that makes any sense. Like for example, I could have went to Breloom, Mach Punched, then he's in range of Latios. I honestly haven't really thought which I would sack to get in range, but I honestly don't think this mattered that much, because like I didn't really need my Sylveon that much anyway. There's no way this thing was sleeping me. But now what I can do is I can just go out to my Latios and click Psychic and knock Ninetales out. Now here he goes on to his Helios. I can live any one hit from this, and I can Oko him with Draco Meteor. But he's actually gonna go for Dark Pulse, and he flinches me. Now this is definitely justice for all the hacks that happened earlier, because now my Latios is getting to a KO'd, and my Latios was definitely my win con. And now the Helios is looking actually really threatening, because if he flinches me again or like gets a crit like late game, if I can't get my Latios healthy, then I could be in a pretty scary position. So yeah. He doesn't claim that flinch really mattered, but I honestly think it mattered a ton, because honestly, if you look at his team, I would Oko this thing with Draco Meteor. Tangrowth, as he did show Sleep Powder, so he's not a Assault Vest, and he can't really touch me. Latios actually just won from here, like it just cleaned up if he didn't get that flinch. But now I have to switch I go on to my Breloom, because he did reveal Scarf and he's locked in. So yeah, now, here I kind of click my moves too fast. I just click Swords Dance as he goes into Tangrowth. Now, Life Orb superpowers a roll to take him out from this range, and I figured it wasn't worth the risk, because I actually don't know his spread, If he's especially defensive, which I don't think he is because he's not assault vest, and I do take him out. But if he's not, like if he's physically defensive, then I can't take him out. But I figured this wasn't worth the risk. This Breloom is really nice because it can OHKO Heliolisk. I'm gonna preserve this and go right into my Bisharp as he goes for the Sludge Bomb, which is perfect. Now, I am Sugar Berry, so I can set up on this thing if I want, but I actually just decided to go for the knockoff in this turn to remove its item, as he reveals to be Rocky Helmet, and that knockoff actually revealed that he was specially defensive, so I could have just knocked him out right there and actually cleaned up Breloom, but it's fine. Because now my Bisharp's asleep. My Bisharp was my most expendable mon, so it's fine. On this next turn, I decided to go into my Latios because I'm really convinced that this thing can't touch me, as he actually doubles it into Infernape, which is perfect because I can just kill this thing with Psychic. He doesn't have Switch in, as now he goes out into Heliolisk, and I know he has to Dark Pulse because it's the only way he can kill me. So I go hard into my Bisharp, and here I just stay in, burn turn asleep as he goes out into his Tangrowth. Now here he pulls a double into his Heliolisk, not really sure why. I guess he was predicting my Latios and he didn't want me to roost up. I guess that makes some sense. But yeah, here I try and wake up again and go for the Sucker Punch and get a ton of damage off, but I actually don't wake up, and he dies and then he crits me with Switch. But here I go into my Latios. I'm just gonna roost. I want this thing out of Dark Pulse range. I don't really care if he puts me to sleep because I still do have my Breloom in the back. So I'm not really too concerned of losing to Heliolisk at this point. I just want this thing healthy. So yeah, I do stay asleep that turn, which, well, obviously because it's one turn guaranteed. But yeah, here on this turn, I'm just gonna burn a turn asleep as he goes for the Dark Pulse and I stay asleep. Now here I know he's locked in, so I go hard into my Greninja. Here I just quick Dark Life for Dark Pulse, and that does a good amount of Tangrowth. But yeah, I go for Dark Pulse again because I wanted, because like if I did go for Dark Pulse again, I just click Mach Punch twice with Breloom and cleaned up. But he actually makes a smart play, goes out into Heliolisk, and what this thing means is this thing is actually in guaranteed range of Psychic, which is nice. Yeah, since he is Scarf Heliolisk, I'm just gonna sack off my Greninja here as he goes out into his Tangrowth. So yeah, but this thing can't beat my Latios because I'm pretty much know its moveset, and there's no way it can break it. Here, as I wake up, he roosts, I roost, and as he goes for the Dark Pulse, I thankfully do not flinch, and I go for Psychic. And now it's Tangrowth versus the rest of my team. I just roost as he sleep powders. It doesn't really matter, because I can just continue to roost it until I can just continue to roost and attack when I need to in order to kill this Tangrowth. Also, this thing is actually in range of my Life Orb Breloom superpower at this point, so the game's pretty much over. We do win the first full game versus Derp, and so yeah, that's nice. Next up, we're going up against Razor Wolf, and I want to talk about the matchup for this game. So here's my team, here's his team. The matchup for this game was absolutely terrible. I have no switch into Weavile, I have no switch into Starmie, I have no switch into Bulu, I have no switch into Zardex, and my Nidoqueen switch-in is like really eh. So yeah, overall this matchup was sort of terrible. So I definitely had to think outside the box if I wanted to win this game. I couldn't just bring standard bounds, I couldn't bring standard stuff. So what I decided to do was really bring a hyper offensive team versus Razor. Here, let me just switch sides real quick. So my game plan this week was dual screens Memento Latios, Mega Latios into setup spent. So first thing I want to talk about is my Nidoqueen. My Nidoqueen is Sash to it's Sash with rocks because I really want to get up rocks early because it ensures some certain one shots as well as yeah, so as well as like shows my my +2 Thunderous can 2 KO Bulu with Psychic. So actually, actually I forget the count, but yeah, Rocks are really important in this game because he does have a Zard X, and so I wanted Rocks up early. I've also got the Dual Screens Memento Latios, as I mentioned. Last month I've got his Ice Beam. Fits his team pretty well. Yeah, I thought it was the best move I could go for. I considered T-Wave, but decided against it. I've also got just a Life Orb Greninja. Let me see if I could. I forget my exact moveset. I know I've got Hydro Pump, Dark Pulse, Gum Shot, and Water Shuriken. Water Shuriken is nice if I can manage to weaken the Weavile, and if he's in range of Water Shuriken, that's good. Next one I've got is pretty important. Pretty much my biggest win con. Dual Dance, Psychium Z, Thunderous, Thunderbolt, Psychic, Agility, Nasty Pot. This is like the first thing I'm gonna go into after I set up screens and mementos. So this month's definitely very important for me in this game. I can set up on stuff. If the Bulu doesn't have Stone Edge, I'm in a great spot. I forget the calc is, but Psychic is doing a ton to Bulu. It also does a ton to Zard. So yeah. In hindsight, perhaps they should have been Z Hyper Beam, but actually no, Psychic was the best because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to hit Nidoqueen. But yeah, next one I've got is Expert Built Rock Polish Bisharp. Rock Polish Bisharp is really nice this game. I got Stone Edge to help me break the Mandibuzz, which he didn't bring. Also does a ton to Zard. So yeah, if I weaken his team enough, this monster, like I especially the 2 months especially that I need to weaken are the Hawlucha and the Nidoking. But yeah, that'll be pretty difficult. But if I can do that, my Bisharp's in a great spot. This is also a pretty good thing if I can that I can set up with after I set up my screens. But yeah. Also, my last one is Trick Room, Life Orb, Slowbro. This one is just pretty solid. This game, honestly. He doesn't really have much. I've got Fire Blast, which one-shots Weavile. I pretty much just one-shot the entirety of his team after rocks are up. I've got Shadow Ball for Starmie. I've also got Surf for Stab, and yeah, I've got Trick Room, Surf, Fire Blast, and Shadow Ball. That's pretty much all the coverage I need. I don't know Hawlucha, and I don't know Zard. Other than that, I pretty much just one-shot everything. Life Orb was there because it really ensured some crucial one-shots, especially on the Weavile and Bulu. But yeah, so let's start off. I decided to lead off with my Nidoqueen because it is my my dedicated lead. Because I want to get rocks up. So turn one, I just click rocks. I know the Starmie can spin on me, but it's fine. He goes to the Ice Beam. He reveals to be Life Orb. I don't really mind. I did kind of expect Life Orb Starmie because it just puts in so much work versus my team. I don't have switching, but yeah, on this turn I could go for the Sucker Punch, which I do have, but I don't really need damage on this Starmie, so I'm just gonna spam Stealth Rocks as he just decides to knock out my Nidoqueen. Now, I'm gonna go on to my Greninja because I do one-shot this thing, and he really doesn't have switch in. So he just decides to sack Starmie, my Greninja. So yeah, now here I want to talk about this play. He goes onto his Bulu, and I just want like a lot of chip on this Bulu so it can be in range of my +2 Thunderous, or it might just like my Z Psychic. So by the way he brought it in, I'm thinking he's Scarf Bulu. And I do have Water Shuriken, and Water Shuriken will get damage off on this to the point where he will be in range of +2 Psychic, which I definitely want. Greninja is really useful this game, but my game plan is setting up early. But yeah, I figured he's either I don't have Ice Beam. I do have Gunk Shot, which can one-shot this, but yeah. I'm just gonna go for the Water Shuriken on this turn, as he actually so he knocks me out with Leisha, and after the game he did tell me that he was actually Yachiberry Bulu, and Yachiberry is for Ice Beam. I really don't understand why he went into Bulu, then I heavily disagree with that play because I could have had Gong Shot and just knocked out of this Bulu. If I did go for Gong Shot on that turn, which I did heavily consider, the game would have been completely different because he can't really one-shot me with Weavile if I recall correctly. I guess he could have gone into Lucha because he is Grassy Seed, which and that would activate his Sunburden. But still, I would have been able to knock out this Bulu, and I would have been in an amazing position. So yeah, I'm really not sure why he went into that, and I still stand by my play. Even though like Horn Leech got him out of range anyway, and it really didn't work out for me in the end. I still hope people understand where I was coming from when I made that play. But yeah, here I go into my Mega Latios, and it's because I realize I have to set up now before if I want any chance of winning, because the Weavile is just close at just winning. I need to set up as soon as possible. He goes for I go for the Reflectus, he goes for the Wood Hammer. As now I decide to set up. Now I decide Fight Screen is useless. I should just go for the Memento right now, but he actually makes an amazing play and goes for the Sword Dance as I Memento, which means I'm really in a predicament because now it's harder for me to set up with this on my Thunderous. I pretty much just have to bank on stuff now, but I go for the Agility as he goes for the Stone Edge, and he does hit. And that's his 49.8, which means the next one is a roll to kill me. As here I go for the Nasty Plot. Also, something I forgot to mention. Because Weavile outspeeds the entirety of my roster, I thought there was a decent chance he might not have Ice Shard Weavile, which is why I'm setting up like this. He did tell me after the game that he does have Ice Shard, but yeah, I still think me setting up here is justified. But he actually hits another Stone Edge and knocks me out, which means I'm kind of screwed here. I did see all of his moves, and he actually doesn't have superpower, which means my last ditch effort is to go into my Bisharp, set up a Rock Polish, and try and like flinch the Nidoking and Hawlucha. So I go for the Rock Polish as he goes hard into Zard, which is fine because I can just go this next turn on the Stone Edge, and here he goes on to his Nidoking. As I just click Iron Head. I did not get a flinch, which makes sense. Higher chance to not get a flinch, as now I have to go into my Slowbro, and he just clicks Sludge Wave, does a ton. As I just had a Trick Room for any chance of winning, but like it was really unlikely for me to win because he did have Ice Shard Weavile, and like he could have just stalled me out of Life Orb hits. But yeah, he actually does review to have Sucker Punch. So yeah. That's a good game to Razors. So, in the two pool games we played, I went 1-1 -2, which is obviously not ideal, but this matchup versus Razor was just so tough. And, yeah, El Danny Boy forfeited every game because he was just really inactive, which means we do end pools with a 2-1+1 record, which means we are able to advance to brackets, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I felt pretty confident versus Danny. I felt like I had the matchup. I do have checks to all of his threats. Just check. I have pretty good Victini Searchins. Like, I actually have two of the best Victini Searchins in the game. Slowbro and Mega Latios. Keldeo, I have Latios, Slowbro. Mamoswine, I have one of the best Searchins, Slowbro. Also could have ran Balloon Bisharp. But, yeah, I really felt like, I would have been able to come out on top versus Danny. So, I don't want to say I just got bailed out by him forfeiting, but, yeah, I definitely will be uploading my bracket games for this. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.